It's Isol, the altruistic mystic. Hi, Marcel. This morning I was doing an energy read on Instagram. I just started doing one recently, and basically this energy seemed very prevalent. It seemed also that I kept feeling like I shouldn't just put it back in the deck, like there was a message here to be told in it. You know, yeah, it has something to do with love, but it's not like, it could be romance related because people get involved with people, but this message is more so communicating energy upon addiction and troubles within that. So I just wanted to go ahead and start reading for you. And if this resonates, then I'm really happy if it does. And if it doesn't make any sense or it's just not part of your life, you know, I mean, maybe it's not for you or maybe it's for somebody you know. So, you know, feel free to pass it on. But yeah, so what I'm basically seeing is that the Nine of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Ten of Wands, the Nine of Cups, the Seven of Swords, the Ace of Swords, and the King of Swords. And the bottom of the deck for this reading is the Seven of Cups. So what I'm feeling is definitely an energy of confusion. But also, in regard to this, underneath this Seven of Cups is the Six of Swords. So this is moving away from a situation. This is relieving yourself of it just because the way you experience it mentally and emotionally is enough to where you want to flee. And I'm sorry, I know a lot of people want to like see me shuffle cards. I don't shuffle on Instagram because you only get 1 minute to like post something. So I pre-shuffle and then it's there. I'm not going to reshuffle this because this is what came out. So this is what it is. You're just going to have to trust me because this is what it is. So the first card out of the deck, we have the Nine of Wands. So an energy where I feel very much that you've experienced a situation with this person. This could be a family member. This could be a husband, a wife, a partner, a brother, whomever it is in your life. But the issue is that this person is having a deep addiction with drinking, drug abuse, substance abuse. There's something here that is incredibly damaging. I don't necessarily feel it's like sexual addiction. I mean, sure, that can play into it. I'm not going to take that off the table. But I mean, overall, like, what I'm feeling here is that this person, you've experienced this with enough to know that you are wanting to leave. You're wanting out. There's an energy here where this is not going in anybody's favor. This person is out of control, it feels. This person is relying heavily on substance and they're kind of just lost in that. The problem here with this Nine of Wands and this Ten of Pentacles, you know, what I'm seeing and feeling right now is that you've dealt with this enough. You've experienced this enough with this person, or people have experienced this with you, however it works out, but I feel it's you with the person, that the situation is basically, you're defensive, you're on guard, you're frustrated, you know, it's like, this is draining you. It is putting your family in jeopardy. It's putting your finances in jeopardy. You know, I feel like too that you may have, like you have to be on guard with this person's actions, like they blow through money. This is a very unstable situation in regard to how like family is experiencing it. If you have children, it's also very difficult for them just because it's like there really aren't any more excuses. I'm feeling like something about like there's no way to explain it other than daddy or mommy is like an alcoholic and you have to have that talk. You know, you have to bridge that gap for them to understand what the true ramification is of their parent or their person, whomever this is. That's for people with children. But whatever this is, I also feel that this is an energy too where it's like you've had enough. You know, you've had enough. You've had enough of dealing with this person's anger. You've had enough with dealing with this person's sloppiness. I feel also that there's an energy here in regard to like their friends. Like maybe there's somebody that comes with their friends and they're just like all blotto, you know, and shit-faced. And it's like you had to take care of them, or there was an experience like that for someone. Basically, too, what I'm feeling with these next cards is, so we have the High Priestess and we have the Ten of Wands. Well, they came out this way. I don't know why I rearranged them. This is how they came out. I'm sorry. I thought it was going to be helpful for the camera, but it doesn't really matter. High Priestess, Ten of Wands. So what I'm feeling is you've experienced this so much that you have basically carried this burden. Where you're at right now is at the point where you don't want to experience it anymore. It's like, you know, you are pretty much deciding to hold off on venturing into anything else with this person. You know, I feel that you have gained some incredible wisdom in regard to this, and you're holding off on continuing on. I feel that this person is so clouded in their judgment anyhow that, like, you know, even basic decision making in regard to this is not something that's going to be helpful. Here we have the Nine of Cups with the Son of Swords. So this person is incredibly out of control. When they get drunk or high or whatever they're doing in themselves, to themselves, there's an energy of utter disregard. I clarified this, and you have the Knight of Wands in reverse. This is a reckless energy. This is somebody that just goes wild. There's no, they're like Jekyll and Hyde, you know. With the Seven of Swords, that's not something that you can trust. It's not something you want around. If you have children, there's an energy here where it's like there could also, I'm feeling like there's also some energy of potential like sexual predatorness, or they could approach you in a sexually disturbing way. It doesn't have to be. For some people that will be, but you know, what I'm feeling is regardless, this person is, they're not okay when they're drunk. They are out of control entirely. They disregard everything. They lie. They have no idea what they're doing, you know, and it's time to release it. You've had enough experience in this situation where you actually know that, hey, this isn't working for me. This is something that's actually really detrimental to my health, my mental health, my emotional stability, my family, my finances. You know, it's like all of this stuff is being drained in regard to this person. And at the last two cards, we have the Ace of Swords and the King of Swords. So it could be an air sign. Doesn't matter though. What I feel though is this is like this person, when they drink, they're cold, they're detached. It's a detachment. It's an energy of detachment. They don't have clarity. I don't feel that this is clarity at all, honestly. I feel that this is also an energy of where you're basically coming at the situation now where it's like, you know what, I'm done. I'm exhausted by this situation. I don't want to deal with it anymore. And I'm actually wanting to cut you out. I'm wanting to remove this situation just because it's like, I don't see you helping it. I don't see you recognizing it. I don't see you paying attention to anything that you're doing. In fact, you're not doing anything about it. You're just promoting the problem. You're perpetuating the problem. I feel it's really important that you stick to your guns in regard to this, just because, like, from all that you've learned, stick to your guns. Some of you may also need to, this is going to sound drastic. There's a few things in this reading that feel a little bit more drastic, and I feel that that's one of the reasons why I was more so inclined and feeling to keep this reading, to keep this message out on the table and not just put it back in the cards after I read that little minute snippet this morning on Instagram. Some of it's not going to jive with you. Some of it may, you know, but for somebody, I hope it really helps. I feel that there's an energy where it's like you've experienced this situation so much that it's become so entirely burdensome that, like, you are afraid of this person. You don't trust them, and they can be, it's like there's a dissolve of boundaries as far as like what is safe anymore. Some people may experience some physical abuse with this person. I think it's also, I feel like some people may be hiding money, or there's a level of like having to like secure money that they don't know about. Like somebody has to like take money so it doesn't get blown, you know, on drugs or alcohol, whatever it is. But yeah, there's an energy here where it's like, you know what, you don't really have any control over how this person reacts or acts at all when they are under the influence of whatever it is. And the sad thing is, it's like, you know what, they're so entrenched in this that it's like they are holding on to it. They don't really see any way of releasing it, you know, which I think has also gotten you to the point where it's like you are able to see that aspect in it. And I think you're able to better use your intuition and your judgment to actually move away from this situation, just because you realize that it's an utter burden. It's actually causing more harm by staying. And the reason I say that too, and another thing about this is, I'll get to that in a second, but one more thing about this is it's like, you know what, I think it's very frustrating here just because it's like you've experienced a level of love with this person where it's like this is a difficult choice. It's like make or break. Like, you know, some people need to hit rock bottom. And by that means like their entire families leave them. Their husbands or wives or children have to go because it's like they don't see their actions in it. And so like by creating a reality where somebody has to pay attention to their actions, then you know what? So be it. Then that's how we got to the decision making and how to get back on or get on the path to recovery to begin with. The reason I'm mentioning that too is because I don't think that this person, where they're at in their addiction, I don't feel that they are able to use discernment. I don't feel that they're able to like use better judgment. I feel that they are more so, they're so out of alignment that they don't know how to treat you. They don't know how to take into consideration your relationship in the past. It's almost like they don't recognize who you are anymore. You're just a person. You're just like a shadow in the corner, you know, like that's not healthy. I say that because to clarify this King of Swords with the Ace of Swords, we have the Two of Cups in reverse. This is a dissolve of a relationship. This is a union going sour, especially due to this energy. And it's like cutting it out is pretty much the only way that we can actually alleviate this and bring some calm. Now, here's where it gets a little bit hairy, just because, you know, I pulled like an outcome for this earlier, and what I got was the energies, it was if you were to stay. That was my question. If you were to stay in this situation, maybe you'll get better, maybe you'll whatever, you know. But the outcome cards, they don't really provide much that is, it's helpful, but it's not like something that you would want to remain engaged in. So basically the first card out, the first card out was the Queen of Cups in reverse. I don't know if you can see her. Yeah, this is the zombie deck, but this energy, what it denotes for me is basically, it's emotionally imbalanced. It is something where you are frayed and fragmented. You're not happy. You're not in your true form. You are out of control. The second card is the Nine of Cups in reverse. This definitely talks about like drug addiction, alcohol, abuse, as far as like overindulgence, but it's also a loss and lack of gratification. It's wishes not being fulfilled, you know, it's out of your element. You're not comfortable in the situation. There is no emotional satisfaction because there's no emotion. It's just frustration and pain, you know. And then the final card within that is the Eight of Cups in reverse. So this would essentially mean going back to something. So this kind of hit me in two ways. You'd be staying with something that you know is not healthy for you. You're not relieving yourself of it, so you're technically staying. The other thing that really, really hit me too was that a lot of the times addicts meet other addicts. You know, it's like birds of a feather, whatever, you know, like flock together. That what I'm feeling though is like they're embroiled in this situation. They have like deep addiction. They're entrenched in deep addiction. You've made your way out of it, or you're not like completely immersed in yours. You know, you've transcended that. You've healed. You're either on the path to sobriety or you've been sober for a while. And so it's like to view and witness this person is really uncomfortable, because it's like, what I feel is that it's triggering you. And by staying in it, it's actually causing you confusion. It's causing you cloudiness, and it's getting in the way of your energetic flow. And by this 8 of Cups in reverse, yes, it's talking about coming back to something, but I feel more so here that this is actually talking about going back into drug addiction, going back into alcoholism, you almost like kind of derailing your progress simply by association. So be very careful of that. Now here's where it got interesting as well. We have at the bottom of the deck for this, we have the Sun. Now in this deck, it's very interesting. I'm going to show you the next couple of cards here. So again, we have the 7 of Cups underneath the Sun. It's not such a happy card. We have the Empress here. The Empress, the mother, look at that. She's like, oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. I'm protecting my child. No, thank you. No, thank you. You know, I'm taking my child. We're going. C'est la vie. Farewell. I have to protect what is mine, what is important. Because here we go. So this is the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, it's slow movement, but I feel also in this regard, this is slow progress happening with this person. This is adjustments that are not being adjusted. This is somebody that's not coming into clarity within themselves at the speed that the situation is calling for them to be part of. So what I'm feeling here, and like, look at this card though too, like this is kind of interesting. We have, and I'm not going to say that, oh yeah, somebody's getting in a car wreck and whatever, but I felt somebody could get in a car wreck. Somebody, like, look at this card. You know, drinking under the influence, drinking and driving, you know, being reckless, potentially having to be airlifted. You know, and I know that that's a far-fetched idea, but like these are images. This is how people read tarot. This is how I read tarot. I get imagery. These are great imagery cards. And I go with that energy that I feel. So, it doesn't have to mean somebody's airlifted to a hospital after an auto accident. But what it does denote for me and what it brings up for me very clearly is that whatever is caused, there's a level of severity that warrants that type of card. There's a level of severity within this, within that recklessness that warrants that type of internal reaction from me, you know. And at the bottom of that, we have Judgment. This Judgment card isn't too rad. It's basically a missile coming to blow everything up. Like, this is lack of judgment. This is not a good situation, you know. This is being out of your mind. When we're under the influence, we're out of our minds. We don't have our faculties. We don't have our wits and bearings about us. We do not make good decisions, you know. So I think it's important to be really, really, really honest with yourself. You know, if you have children, be mindful, be kind, be considerate of your child, be considerate of yourself. Be careful in this situation. Put your hand up, walk away, you know. I feel that this energy very much for this reading is talking about walking away. This is talking about somebody needing to hit rock bottom, somebody needing to truly like see their actions and everything that it's done. All of the way that it's unraveled everything for them and their family and how they are experiencing life at this point. Just because I don't feel that they understand, or if they do understand, they don't care. There's a level of not caring here. It's almost just like being so far gone. It's really, really sad, you know. This is going to take a lot of strength to heal this situation. This person is going to have a lot of work to do, but I feel that there's an energy here where it's very important for you to recognize that this isn't for you to take care of. This isn't for you to like come up and mop up after. Like, this is for you to leave because it's unhealthy for you. This person, this is their experience in this life. They've gotten themselves here. This is part of their karma. This is what they have to work through, or they can die through it. You know, either way, this is the choice that they've made by entering into this human body, this flesh form. You know, we have agreements. I'm sure I'll talk about that in some other video, but yeah, this is somebody that needs to be released at this time, because by you being there, you're not helping. You're not helping yourself. You're not a catalyst. You can be a catalyst for healing, but that requires leaving. It requires walking away, because this person, you know, they need to be by themselves. And if they drink themselves to death, or if they do drugs to death, then that's their karma. I'm not saying you can't help them, but by helping them most is going to be by walking away. And that's really difficult for a lot of people, because we want to help, because we have hearts, because we love our friends, we love our family, you know, we love our lovers. But we also have to love ourselves in the process, you know, and by loving ourselves in this process, you know, it's like, again, another experience to recognize self-love, to recognize where we matter, you know, by relieving ourselves, by removing ourselves. It's really important. I went ahead and clarified with some, what are they called? Oracle cards. With the angels, there's an angel oracle deck that I have, and the card that popped out was assertiveness. I'll just read it for you. This situation can be healed gently and with love, as you've requested. Yet, there's also a need for your strength and truthfulness with the other people involved. Be honest. Be kind with your honesty. And by that, I mean, speak your truth. You know, don't mince your words. I'm going to finish this. Okay. This situation can be healed gently and with love, as you've requested. Yet there's also a need for your strength and truthfulness with other people, with the other people involved. We, the angels, will stand right behind you as you speak your truth. Give you strength, and we will stand right behind you as you speak your truth, giving you strength and guiding your words. Sorry. Yeah, communicate with higher energies for energy for this, for protection, but also I think it's really important in this situation to be very honest with this person. You know, don't do it when they're not sober. You know, when they're high, it's not going to help. When they're drunk, it's not going to help. It might also be important to leave a letter for them, just so they have something physical to read, to touch, to reflect upon. If you have like access to their car, you know, or like keys, hide that. And that's getting in somebody else's personal space. I know that, but if you find that there's a severity and necessity within that, then do that. I'm not suggesting like everybody just do that, but like if you use your judgment and that's something that you feel is going to save somebody's life, if they are, you know, driving recklessly like a loon while under the influence, then yes, protect other people on the road, you know. That's essentially being an accessory. Like, I mean, not to get all like legal and hardcore or whatever, but like, you know, if you know that there's potential danger for somebody else because this person is out of their wits, like, use your judgment, you know, save somebody else's life if you know that this person is a potential hazard. Yeah, so this is this reading. I just really wanted to share this with you, just because it really felt that it was important to do so. And, you know, I've dealt with addiction. I've dealt with a lot of different things. You know, I was an alcoholic. I've done tons of drugs. Like I've done a lot of things, and I'm grateful for being able to be sober for 8 years, you know, but that's like, because I chose to do it, because like my body was dying with the way I was treating it, you know, and my friendships were suffering, my relationships were suffering, like, you know, I was homeless, you know, like these are real things. And sometimes you have to experience those things to lift yourself back up, you know, that's hitting rock bottom, you know, and I had to do that. It's different for every other person. Also, this card, another oracle, trusting your intuition. I shuffled it, and it's funny because it came flying out right on top of this high priestess, which is all about intuition. This is all about trusting your intuition and delving deep. You've experienced enough with this person. This is enough of a burden for you to actually make a clear-cut decision that you no longer want to be in this position with this person. I feel that too, if you have things that are of like financial, like they can siphon financially, like cut that off for some reason, like if you're able to. This is really talking about being assertive and walking away from a situation so that you can actually have a movement towards where you need to be that's going to help you heal. This person needs to heal, but experiencing this for so long and potentially the way that you have, I just feel that you also need to remove yourself so you can heal, just because it's not just one person. Like, this is detrimental. This energy is sour. This energy is toxic. When you're in a toxic relationship for so long, it affects you. So just be conscious of that. Be real with where you are. If you have an addiction and this is causing you to feel like you need to take some time to maybe seek out counseling, or maybe go to an Al-Anon meeting, or like whatever type of meeting you feel that's necessary for you, do it. You know, like there's no shame in that. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't hold on to this situation out of feeling obligated, like you have to help this person. People have to help themselves, you know? That's the only way we grow. And I feel like you're at your wit's end. I feel like you don't really, it's like you don't really have much else to want to contribute here, you know, because you've already done it. And this person isn't really recognizing that, or they're not, they just can't, you know, that's where they are in their disease. They can't see it. So you have to leave it. Anyways, I hope this situation, or this, I hope this situation was helpful for you to get you out of here, you know, like this isn't healthy, this isn't okay, you know, and I hope this reading was helpful for you if you're experiencing this. A lot of people aren't going to jive with this. A lot of people are doing totally fine in regard to this, but there are also people out there that are experiencing this heavily, and like, you know, honestly, I was just going to put this stuff back in the deck this morning, and like, literally it was like, no, keep it out. And, I kept it out, and I kept thinking about it all day, and I've just got back from work now after dinner, and I'm like, let's talk about this. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. Seek counseling, seek refuge, seek other family, seek friends. If you need to go with somebody, talk to somebody and see if you're able to spend some time with them. But the thing is, you really have to take yourself out of the situation, just because it's not okay. So yeah, anyways, I hope this was helpful. It's kind of it's not a love reading, but in a way it is. It's self-love reading. So, and it's a love reading because by cutting somebody out, it's like the ultimate sign of love. Like, I love you so much, I'm willing to let you go, you know. Yeah, this is heavy. It feels very hard. It feels like I want to cry. Okay, well, anyways, my name is Isel. I am on YouTube. I'm a newer reader, The Altruistic Mystic, and I hope that this was helpful. And good luck. Yeah, all right. Take care, honey. Bye-bye.